Hello, everybody, and welcome to Outside the Box, the podcast devoted to supporting Central PA small business. I'm your host, Derek Bixler. Today, we will be talking to Stefan Hawkins of Fifth Acres Coffee and Good Brotha's Book Cafe. And I know the right way to point now, so you can see him right beside me. And his logos, your logos fit perfectly up there. Sometimes people's framing isn't good, but I like how it perfectly framed you there with your logos. But before we get to Stefan, like I said, I'm your host, Derek Bixler, realtor and digital marketing geek right here in Central PA. I grew up on the hill in Harrisburg, went to Mechanicsburg High School, and went up to Penn College of Technology in Williamsport for college. If you need to buy or sell a home, please contact me. We really need inventory really bad. You can text me, email me, send a rock through my windows, send a carrier pigeon, whatever you need to do. We need inventory like crazy. Things are still really awesome for sellers out there. If you want to subscribe to our email list, go to supportcentralpa.com to get networking mixer updates and invites, episode announcements, and exclusive special offers, of which we will have one from Stefan and Fifth Acres and Good Brothers after the episode. Well, we'll plug it at the end of the episode, and it'll be in that weekly email that we set up. And I'm actually due a email. Sometimes I'm a little late. They're supposed to go out Monday. I didn't send this week's yet, so hopefully tomorrow I will get this week's out, and it will be on that. If you're on Clubhouse, please follow me. I'm at Agent Derek. We're going to start doing some more rooms on there pretty soon. A reminder to ask a question in the comments if you have any questions for myself, but mainly for our guest Stefan, or if you know either of us, just say what's up in the comments. If we don't see it right now, we'll come back after the fact and address your comments or questions. And a reminder, all the replays are available on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, all the places you want to consume your content. And on, it says Instagram there. That's the only one we can't go live on with the StreamYard, so I have to upload it to IGTV, and soon on iTunes and all the audio players whenever I get the chance to upload all our hundreds of episodes to the audio platforms. So without further ado, I'm going to bring in our guest of honor, Stefan Hawkins, and they close at 6. So I was getting nervous. He just barely got here. I was about to text my mom, I'm coming to get the kids early, but he popped in here two minutes before airtime. So I'm very happy we didn't have to reschedule. So now I'm going to shut up. Tell everybody who you are and a little bit about your background, kind of growing up and where you grew up.
My name's Stefan Hawkins. I'm the owner of Good Brotha's Book Cafe, Fifth Acres Coffee, and I'm also the owner of House of Vegans, full vegan restaurant, also located in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We'll be reopening in late August, early September, so be on the lookout for that. But
I didn't know that we could do a whole episode just on that.
Yeah, we could do an episode on vegan food. Yeah.
All right, so it's not. Let's stop on this for a second because I'm very interested in this part. I'm veganish. I call myself. I eat meat here and there, but it's got to be good meat, maybe once a month or something. But so this is in Harrisburg.
Yes, it was located in Harrisburg. We opened up last July. We closed February due to some discrepancies and everything like that. COVID hit. But we found another location, and we'll be back open in the fall. Like we're looking at the fall right now.
That's awesome. And what kind of food was it? Is it
vegan? All vegan restaurant?
Yeah. There is none.
Burgers and fries. We had like food, greens, yams, mac and cheese.
So you had like the hearty, like feel good, because a lot of the vegan restaurant, I won't name names, and they're good. I like them, but there's only one or two around. But they're not. It's not that kind of food. It's not comfort food.
Yeah, it wasn't comfort food. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Diet we used to. So that opened first. That actually gave me the funds to open Good Brothers and start Fifth Acres. So that was the baby before these other two babies. That was the brainchild. But I grew up in Harrisburg my whole life. I was born out the South Side, raised uptown, ventured around the hills. So I say I'm from every part. I go everywhere. All right. I got friends.
What year did you graduate?
I graduated 2008.
Okay, I was 97, so I was way older, but still. What street were you on?
Huh?
What street did you live on?
I grew up on 5th Street. That's where the name from Fifth Acres came from.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I grew up on 5th Street. But, raised uptown, graduated from Harrisburg High in 2008. I'm a father, brother, all that stuff. My whole family's from here. My whole family still lives here. My kids live here. And, man, I'm just trying to make a living. That's it.
So you got at least 3 businesses that I now know of. So when you were growing up, were you like screen printing T-shirts and selling them in high school or something, or when you were little? Did you have a paper route? Like, what got you into it? Were you always trying to make money and grind, or what's the deal?
Yeah, I wasn't no paper route guy. Like I had jobs. Like my first job ever was at Wendy's when I just turned 14. So I've been in like the restaurant industry, the service industry for basically almost 20 years. I went from Wendy's to Burger King. I tell everybody, and I tell my sons sometimes too, because they're starting to get to the working age, that I worked at every fast food joint in the city of Harrisburg. You can't name somewhere I didn't work other than Hardee's, like Arby's, McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, you name it, I probably worked at somewhere or one of them. So I've been in the service industry like all my life, and then I actually graduated from Harrisburg's VOTEC program in culinary. So
Where's that? Where's that school?
It's actually Harrisburg's VOTEC is closed right now. So it closed down. It was at the old William Penn. Now all the kids from Harrisburg get bused out to DC Tech, Dauphin County Tech. So that's like a big thing within itself. Like we should have built our own program back up. But, Harrisburg School District thought it was best to send our youth, our kids out there. They think that education and everything's better than educating our kids here. So that's one within itself. But I was one of the last programs to go through Harrisburg VOTEC at William Penn, which is now closed itself too.
Yeah, in a big way.
Yeah.
That's a pretty awesome building, waiting for somebody to do something cool with it.
I got some friends that's trying to buy it, but Harrisburg's holding out on that as well too. So hopefully Capital Rebirth can lock in that deal, but we'll see where the money lies. But yeah, so I wanted to be a chef. I can't really say I wanted to really own a restaurant. I just like cooking. I just like experiment with food. It's a comfort zone. It's relaxing. I turn on some music, and I create. I was very artistic as a child. I used to draw comic books and draw anime. I was a big Dragon Ball Z fan, Dragon Ball fan. So I had a friend that actually, me and him, we used to draw see who can draw like the best Dragon Ball character, copy on. And this wasn't no trace. We had to draw from scratch. So I would say that art and culinary, culinary arts, art and food play hand in hand. Presentation of a sale is 80%. So I like to work with my hands.
Yeah, the creative aspect of both of them. You get to flex your creative muscle and share it and get creative even with recipes, coming up with new stuff. You got to say what would go good together.
Love that. Recipes with coffee, recipes with food, just pouring myself into something creatively. So.
And then after VOTEC, what did you do right after that? Do you get some kind of certificate or something, or do you become a sous chef?
I actually never even got that. I actually was a high school parent. My oldest son is 14. My second oldest son would be 13. I had 2 kids by the time I graduated high school.
But you're done early then. You can chill soon.
I had 3 more after that. I got 5 kids. Yeah. Actually, my third son just celebrated his 9th birthday. But I pretty much worked job to job. Like my after high school with 2 kids, I joined the military, did 3 years, got out. 4 years, excuse me. The last year you really didn't have to report. So
which branch?
Army. Did that, got out, tried college, did a year, start falling behind, got out, start working again. Just kept working pretty much, and then trying to make ends meet. And then basically I ended up securing a job at Pepsi about 3 years ago, truck driving. Before that I was working at like UPS, McDonald's. I was working, I ain't gonna say I had some lucrative career or nothing like that. I was just basically trying to get by.
We've all had a string of those jobs till you find that thing that's your thing.
I was basically just a guy trying to get by. Like I always knew I wanted to work for myself. I just didn't know in what capacity. I just know I didn't want to be 65 waiting to retire, or 62 waiting to retire and die at 65, 66. And they say I worked my whole life for somebody else, and then my job's filled the next day after I croak. So I started working at Pepsi, and then I actually went vegan in 2018 as well. So it was like a whole life change. Like that was like my midlife crisis at 28. And
Why did you do that?
just I don't know. I was just trying to. I guess I was trying to find myself. I felt like life wasn't going the way I planned it should have went, and I just more so was trying to center myself. Like just like where can I, you know what I mean, like find myself. And then I was like, hey, just change my eating diet, got a better job finally. At that time, Pepsi was paying me $18 an hour. That's the most money I ever made through a job. And I was like, man, I can make a career out of this or something. That was my goal. I was like, I'm gonna stay here for as long as I can because it came with benefits, retirement plan, 401k. Like that was the best. Like UPS offered that, but I was tired of throwing boxes. Like I was sick of it. And yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna just stay here until something else come about. Well, I ended up meeting my youngest son's mom, my fiance, and at the time, and she's vegan. That's how we got introduced. So I used to I was showing off.
I bet you if you took a poll of all the vegan dudes, there was some vegan woman first.
Yeah.
That, like my ex-wife, who's ex-wife now, but she was vegetarian before, and I was regular, and then slowly I became, not because of her, but it just kind of like happens too. And once you start getting grossed out by stuff too, all of a sudden, I just got grossed out by eggs recently. Like I used to be all right with eggs, but I don't really eat a lot. And then I made some eggs for the kids, and then I ate like just scrambled egg, and I was like, it's kind of nasty. Something about it I didn't like or something, but continue. So you met her and you started, did you start slowly or did you dive right in?
No, I did. Before I met her, I actually started slowly. By the time I met her, I was fully in about 2 months, month and a half. And then we was introduced through a mutual friend. And me showing off, I actually used to try to like take her on dates and like other cities and stuff like that. Like I'd be like, oh, let's go watch an NBA game. You ever been to an NBA game? And she was like, no, I never been to an NBA game. I was like, all right, we're gonna go see the Washington Wizards play in DC. I was like, yeah, I got the weekend off, so we can go down there. But while we was down there, our thing was we'd go see like some type of sporting event, and then we'll go out to eat, and then we'll like stay the night over. Nobody's driving back from DC 11 o'clock at night or whatever. So we're like, all right, let's find vegan spots. And I actually started like a vegan blog thing I was doing. Anytime I go to a vegan spot, I would basically rate it and try it out. So so going to like DC, Baltimore, stuff like that. That's what sparked House of Vegans idea, and which led to Good Brothers and everything.
And did she have anything to do with the restaurant opening, or did you try?
She was actually the head cook. She was the head cook. Yeah, she was the head cook. She had all the recipes. She had everything. Like, she was a big part. She played a big part in that and this. So, shout out to her.
So, how do you even go about coming up with recipes? Were you scouting and taking kind of ideas from all these other places you were going in DC?
Pretty much things we knew we liked and things we saw at other spots that was working. Basically, if you go to a restaurant, like, how long you been in business? They're like 5 years. I'm like, this has been your standard menu. Like, yeah, we've been selling this burger, this our specialty burger, this our chicken, this our specialty menu, yada yada yada. So you're like, okay, and you're mentally taking notes. I'm mentally just writing this down because obviously when you go out of town, you like going back to your spots that was your favorite. Like, I like that spot. I'm gonna go back there. I knew what I had on the menu and I liked it. But but our thing was, if we like say we went back to DC a month later, we never went back to the same restaurant twice. We had to always find a new one, like find out why they've been in business so long. And I was researching, not knowing I was researching. I was just like, I'm going to a new spot every time. So every time I go to DC, every time I go to Baltimore, every time I go to Philly, New York, I had to go to somewhere new. And that was a part of like my blog and jotting things down. So it just sparked it in me. And I'm like, man, Harrisburg doesn't have one of these. Harrisburg doesn't have no fully black-owned vegan restaurant that sells comfort food, soul food.
Anything owned.
Anything.
There's no like red-owned, alien-owned, white-owned, nothing around here except for the one that isn't that great.
Yeah. But, they cool. So that happened. And then fast forward to Good Brothers and Fifth Acres.
So how did you serve coffee at the restaurant? Were they related somehow? How did the coffee come about, or was it a completely separate thing where you're just like, I like coffee, let's start roasting some of it?
No, it was actually, honestly, it was more so like a thought. right around the time George Floyd was murdered up in Minnesota by the four officers. Four officers, yeah. So right around the time he was murdered, and there was like that big outcry of like, oh, we need more black on this, we need more black on that. Like, you know, Harrisburg is predominantly black, but we own about, I think, maybe less than 5% of the businesses here. So it's like we have no representation of ourselves in the industry, in the business industry, entrepreneurship. Like we have no inspiration for it. Like, yeah, everybody sells T-shirts, everybody does some type of hair or cut hair, or you know, we might have like a rib shack or a fish fry, something like that. But we ain't have nothing different, nothing that wasn't reinventing the wheel. So I knew House of Vegans was about to open, and I was like, man, what don't we have here that, you know, maybe one day I can contribute to, that I could bring something new, innovating, exciting. And I was like, yo, I never seen a black owned coffee spot. I was like, I never seen a black owned coffee spot. I'm 30. At the time I was 30. I was like, I'm 30 years old and I never seen a black owned coffee spot here. I can't remember going to Uncle JoJo's coffee house or, you know, Aunt Tammy's cafe. I don't remember nothing like that. Like, we're specialized in coffee, not a breakfast house that serves coffee. I'm talking about like cappuccinos, macchiatos, lattes, frappuccinos, things like that. Like, we specialize in coffee here. So that was my goal. I was like, I could do that one day. But there's a coffee shop. Well, I'm in it now, but at the time when we was opening House of Vegans, there was a coffee shop across the street from us. It's called Delicious. Delicious was a bakery cafe. Serbian lady and her family owned it. So I was like, man, one day that'd be cool as hell if I could put a coffee shop right across the street from House of Vegans. So fast forward, House of Vegans open. House of Vegans is doing great financially at the time. And we had some extra capital. I went over there to get some coffee. The coffee wasn't the best, but it was manageable. You know, like it was basically regular coffee. They wasn't trying to. Her thing was bakery. She was like, I'm a bake shop and we serve coffee. So we're not trying to razzle dazzle you with the coffee, but it was good. It was decent coffee. I said Irish, Italian coffee. But what happened? So I went over there one day, and she was like, "Oh, we're moving to Mechanicsburg," and I'm like, "Oh shit." I'm like, damn, where am I gonna get my coffee from now? You know, like, you're right across the street from me. So she was like, I was like, yo, I did have that idea to open a coffee shop. And she was like, I was like, so I just, you know, just prying around, like, did anybody, you know, get the spot after? She's like, I don't think nobody knows for real. You know, there ain't like a for sale or for lease sign out front. Hold on.
Got to handle some business in the shop.
My bad.
All good.
Yeah, they was playing chess, so they leaving now.
Oh yeah, I forgot there were still some out there.
Yeah, they were still up there playing chess. So yeah, so she was leaving, and I was like, man, I think I could do that coffee shop now thing. I thought it was going to be, you know, a little bit easier to just slide into it. I was like, I think a little capital from House of Vegans, and then I consulted with my fiance, you know, at the time, and I'm like, listen, I think we can do this. I think this could be successful. And I was like, look at, we ain't never had nothing black owned coffee shop. Like, just like when you have a black owned vegan spot, we never have a black owned coffee shop. And I was like, and to have them right across the street from each other, I can run the coffee shop. You continue to run House of Vegans. We could do a 1-2 punch. And we're right there, we're across the street. So if anybody gets in trouble, one person runs across the street, help the other one. You know, we help each other out. And then I was like, plus, you know, we can hire 1 or 2 employees from over here to go over there to the coffee shop with us. And then we hire somebody, you know, from like Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, to come in and train everybody, you know, on how to make coffee. So she was like, listen, you got me to believe in House of Vegans. I'm gonna believe in you on this because House of Vegans working. So obviously you kind of know what you're doing, and if not, we'll figure the shit out. Excuse my language. So I'm like, okay, so you believe in me. So boom, we took an investment, started Good Brothers, put the sign up. I hired this young lady from that used to work at Starbucks, and I was like, do you know how to make coffee? And she's like, yeah, I know how to make coffee. I was like, nah. Do you know how to make coffee good, like Starbucks quality? You know what I mean? She's like, yes, listen. So when I bought my espresso machine, I'm like, listen, come down here on a Saturday when we slow or something like that. And I was like, I'm gonna take you in what will become Good Brothers, and I want to see you make stuff up. So she was in here making lattes, macchiatos, cappuccinos, flat whites, Americanos, red eyes, London fogs. Was teaching me all these different names and terminology.
I don't even know what half of those things you just said are. So,
but she's teaching me all this stuff, and I'm just sitting back and just soaking it up, and I'm like, okay, I found my head barista. I found her. I was like, I'm fine. I was like, I'm ready now. I'm confident. So now it's just like more so, let's outfit this place. How do I want it to look? How do I want it to feel? What vibe and sensation do I want to give my customers when they walk in here? And that's when I was like, I'm going to show my culture. I'm going to show my city in a positive light. Like the stigmas associated with the Black community sometimes can be negative and sometimes it can be positive. Well, I want to show you that it's always positive when you come in here. And then there's a lot of, not all the time, but a majority of the time, there's a lot of bad association with Black-owned businesses. Customer service could be lagging. We're always out of something, things of that nature. There's always some type of complaint that comes with Black-owned business. So I just wanted to make sure that when I, just same way House of Eagles was going, customer service was great, food quality, great, atmosphere, great. I was like, I got to mimic that because these are the first of its kind. So I'm setting a standard of what can be and what will be going down the line. So I was like, okay, I want the coffee shop to be like this. I want it to look like that. This how it needs to come out. Then I was like, but what can I do to get more people in the door other than just good coffee? Because before you try the coffee, I have to lure you in. I have to attract you. So I was like, books, bam, got them. Because me and two of my homies actually started an all-male Black book club. So
all right.
Yeah, it's called Good Brothers Can't Read Book Club. It's a pun on the fact that they say Black men can't read.
I hate reading, by the way. I've never completed a full book in my entire life. I like to learn. I like knowledge, but I finish a page and I have no idea what I read. So I'm terrible with it. But
I'm actually a guest columnist for Harrisburg magazine now on book.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I love books, man. It's just an escape. It's a subtle escape, just to clear your mind and just take yourself away. I love imagination. Like I said, that's the creativeness in me. But
so what's the current? Is there a current book right now?
Huh?
Is there a current book right now for the club?
We actually just finished Brian Major's book. He's a good friend of mine.
Yeah,
it's called Training for Triumph. That's the next book we got to read in our discussion. And then at the discussion, or right beforehand, we'll all throw a book out there. Like, say we want to read Obama's new book. You put it out there to the group votes on it and be like, okay, Obama's the next book for the group. Nobody gets a one determining factor. Like, just because I start the group, I don't get to come there like, this is the book we're reading. Everybody pick the book up, yada, yada, yada. And then also...
It's not Oprah's book club. It's everybody's book club.
It's the Good Brothers book club. This ain't Oprah book club. Oprah don't tell you what to read this month. So when we started that, I was like, oh, because Good Brothers is just a terminology, just like showing affection. I see a man trying to do good, and he just on his P's and Q's about everything, and he handled his business. So we called the group Good Brothers. I didn't have a name for the coffee shop at the time. I was like, man, do I want to name it after one of my sons? Do I want to name it after my mom? Do I want to?
You can't do a son because then all the other kids are totally left out.
Begin with K. So I was going to be like K something coffee shop, and then da 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 da. So when I thought of the books, I was like, man, Good Brothers Book Club, Good Brothers Book Cafe. I'm a good brother, you know what I mean? This is my establishment. This is my coffee shop, my books, Good Brothers Book. People be thinking it's more than one brother. I was like, no, that's apostrophe S. That means a possessive. That's possessive.
And there's only one of them. It's not brothers, then apostrophe. That would be... Exactly. That would be possessive of a bunch of them.
Exactly. So it was more so just a play on that. And then basically, so hold on.
Got something going on in the store here. He had to mute his mic. So maybe we'll get to see a little bit of the place while you walk around.
Yeah, everybody doing something today.
Feel free to show us if you want to. If you want to hold it up or anything.
I ain't walking around. Hold on.
I wasn't planning on, but sometimes we do the walk around thing.
Yeah, you could do that.
Nice. So was that all set up when when you took it over, because they were already doing that in there, right? So you didn't have to do any build out for the most part. The counter, all the
No,
stuff, the fixtures were there, or did they take that stuff?
the only thing they left me was the counter. I had to put in the floor. I had to repaint the walls, everything like that. So that's more so was my own thing. But the counter they left, and they built the wall that they left as well. So that's really it, though.
And then do you have food in there? Does
Yeah,
the restaurant
I'm
serve as like a
building.
commissary?
Hold on.
There's zero watchers at the at the minute, so I'm going to talk to all these zero watchers while he's over there taking care of something. They just closed at 6, and I think there were some people there playing chess, maybe still leaving.
Yeah, and there was music playing, and then the guy chased me away from the back. He wanted hammer on the wall right now. Like everybody want to do something when this interview's about to go down. So
That's how
but,
it always happens.
But yes, one thing about food industry I've learned, and I'm always learning, is that once you offer food, everybody named mom is a food critic. So everybody done ate at the best 5-star restaurants. Everybody's palate is different. Everybody this and that, and they don't like something this way. So basically, I'm building up the food menu here because I don't have a full blown kitchen, I would say. Like I don't have and then also my leaser, my landlord, he wouldn't allow me to add certain stuff in here. That was a part of our agreement. I got to give a little bit to get a little bit. So I can't do everything. People's like, are you going to bring your burgers over there? Are you going to cook half the stuff you cooked over at House of Vegans? Like, no, I'm not doing all that cooking. I didn't even like cooking half that stuff when I had House of Vegans. But it made the business.
But you do have like pastries and stuff like that, right?
Yes, I work with.
So where does that come from?
I work with a local baker called Just Baked Cakes and Pies. She's right there off of 3rd and Verbeck. Her bake shop is actually attached to Midtown Scholar. So yeah, she actually was a part of there. She actually provides baked goods for the bookstore that's 2 blocks away from me. So it all actually works out. But yeah, so
the cafe came before. I was, for whatever reason, I assumed the roasting or the coffee brand came before the cafe. But did the cafe came before 5th Acres Coffee?
Yes. In a sense, yes. I started 5th Acres actually as like a drop shipping. It was more so like I wanted to control the brand. I wanted to control the brand and the whole totality. I didn't want, because even if you come into a coffee shop, the first thing people are gonna do is comment on the coffee. What is keeping you in business? The coffee. Why does everybody here? The coffee. So my thing was I couldn't give nobody credit for the coffee. I couldn't say, Elementary got good coffee. Little Amp has good coffee. We got a new coffee shop down the street called Denim. They got good coffee, great coffee. It's all great coffee businesses in Harrisburg. But I couldn't be Elementary's 3rd spot. I couldn't be Little Amp's 4th spot. I couldn't be, you know what I'm saying? They're like, yeah, Good Brothers, that's a good spot to go. But the coffee, Little Amp's coffee is amazing. So they'd be like, I might as well go to Little Amp that's closest to my house. They selling the same coffee. So when you come into the door, I had to set myself apart from businesses that was already here. And I could have used a coffee brand, from Texas or North Carolina or California, because most people never had them anyway. But I was like, why not establish my own business? I'm all about ownership, controlling the whole brand, controlling the whole industry, not allowing no middleman to make money off of me if I don't have to. So I was like, shit, I could start my own coffee business. I didn't know how I was going to really do it, but I would have figured it out, and that's
drop shipping's a great way to start it.
Drop shipping was a great way just to get my foot in the door and say, hey, I have a real established business, and then that coffee was coming from California. So I was getting that coffee roasted in California, shipped over here, but I couldn't get a certain number. I couldn't order 50 pounds of coffee, 100 pounds of coffee. They was minimizing me down to like 20, 15, things like that. So I was having problems. So I was like, listen, I really got to focus in on this and build my own brand. So I basically found a roaster here locally. We went over beans, we went over importing, we went over, roasting schedules. And I was like, listen, I don't want to have the same coffee as somebody else around here. And they was like, no, we're gonna make sure we hone in on your beans. We're gonna make sure, we focus in on your beans specifically. I was like, listen, if I find out any of my beans is the same as somebody else around here, I'm gonna fire you. So he's like, no, I got you. So we went around, we went looking. He gave me some recommendations. I was like, listen, let's put it together, let's see how it goes. And then ever since then, we've been rocking. So
how does that work? And you can plug the person and say if you want to plug them or whatever, but how does that work? They go to some market somewhere where there's all kinds of beans from all over the world and you
import it. No, it's no market. You just
there's a market online.
Yes. Well, it's a market. It's an importer online. And then you be like, what beans do you have? Like, what beans of good quality? We specialize in specialty coffee. Specialty coffee is basically the highest grade beans that you could get, the best flavor, the best harvest. Cropping's great. The area is known for great producing great beans of high quality. It's grades to beans. Like, people don't even know that. People just think,
so these are raw beans,
yes,
unroasted.
Green beans from Colombia. From Colombia. A lot of people don't know that coffee starts out as a cherry. It's a fruit, actually. And then the bean inside the fruit is what actually gives you the caffeine and gives you the energy and everything like that. But if you see a raw coffee bean, you'll be like, what the hell is that? It looks like a peanut or something like that before it's roasted. But it's inside of a cherry-looking fruit. It's not
that has like cherry-type meat, like an olive kind of, or like with a pit kind of thing?
Yeah, a coffee bean is basically a pit. It's basically a pit that you could, if you bit into it, you got a shot of caffeine in you. If you just spit it out, you just spit out the seed. You probably taste a little bitterness, but you could probably, I don't know, I never really researched eating the fruit, the cherry. So I don't know if people do it in those other countries, but maybe they do. You probably get zooted out the wazoo, you know what I mean? Like, because it got to be some type of infused caffeine in that cherry, so, but yeah, that's how it started. So we basically did the research. We figured it out. They roast, they send it over to me, and I basically do it. But I own the brand 100%. That's the only brand we use in here. And yeah, man. So, but I did that after signing the lease to the cafe. I wasn't going to try to make coffee without somewhere to sell it out of. Even though I could have sold it out of House of Vegans, nobody really, one, we was open in the morning. Two, nobody really was coming to check us for coffee, So that was another thing.
And is that guy, he supplies other people locally and nationally and just all over the place?
Nationally. He's a national guy.
And how much do you have to get at a time for somebody like that to deal with you?
Nah, I can get whatever I want. We got a good rapport. I kind of get what I want, but I usually get no less than 20 pounds a week, like no less. Nah, that's between display bags, the 12-ounce bags, to 5 to 10 pounds, 15 pounds. I may use in-house for roasting, espressos, brew coffee, things like that. So weekly average, I'm doing well more than 30 to 50 pounds of coffee. So.
Gotcha. And then fulfilling orders, like if you get an order online, how does that, you bagging that stuff or somebody's bagging it and shipping it out?
No, I bag that, or I basically tell the roaster, like, listen, put this aside for me. I'm coming down to put this together. And I'm actually about to try to hire somebody for that, like, so I don't got to go down. I'm hands-on with Fifth Acres. Like, I'm the one doing all the running around, all the, trotting and everything to handle that. I don't really have no employees for the Fifth Acres brand. That's just morely me, because we actually just got Fifth Acres into Giants and Carnes. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great thing. So basically, when it's time to go make those deliveries and go restock, I'm gonna be doing that myself while still managing Good Brothers, and everything. And then with House of Vegans about to come back, I'm gonna be pulled 3-4 ways. So I'm trying to train people now. I'm trying to get things together now, so I'm not, running halfway across Harrisburg throughout the day, just to make sure, all three of my businesses are running like well-oiled machines.
Yeah, I got to get more people like that barista you got that hopefully is still around, right?
Nah, she's not with us no more.
Oh.
Listen, some things, it's hard out here.
Yeah, the good people have to move on, because usually the best people, they're going to move on to something eventually, so you got to expect it.
I can't stop doing what you want to do.
Totally. So do you start with one blend of coffee and then work your way up to more, or how does that work? And do you do blends, or is it always one bean, or how does that kind of thing work?
You see what works. I started out with one. I started out with my brother's blend at first, and I was just basically seeing the reception I would get back from that. How did they like it? What did they say? Like, and I got great reviews. Oh my God, the reviews is like people come in and be like, I tell people all the time, unless you like a coffee connoisseur in a sense, a lot of people never had good coffee. Like, I'm talking about like not milk and sugar down, not all caramel, not all this caramel on top of it, not all this mocha and hazelnut on top. I'm talking about just a good cup of black coffee.
And prepared the right way too. Not just and prepared the right way, you can be a little bit better too, rather than just an automated drip thing or whatever.
Yeah, even if it's a nice espresso shot. I tell people a lot of times, like, people like Starbucks has good coffee. Is it the best? No, because they mass produce and roast their beans. You got to realize they're roasting thousands of beans a day, a week. So they're not really hone and concentrate on individual roasting. They're not in there really checking to see if a couple burnt beans got by. They're like, listen, get that shit out of here. We got
all their stuff tastes burnt. I hate their coffee, frankly. Listen, I can't stand it. It tastes like wood or burnt wood or something.
Yeah, you said it, but I hear that same review from other customers. A lot of people say, a lot of their coffee tastes burnt. But you got to understand, though, they're one of the biggest coffee providers in the world, if not the biggest coffee provider in the world. They're the biggest coffee business.
I think Dunkin' actually, as of a couple years ago, Dunkin' Donuts was the biggest seller of coffee in the world or something like that. I'm sure they're close.
Yeah, but their coffee's cheaper. So you can sell more cups at $1.89 than you can sell at $4.
True.
$3. So for every one cup you sell, I probably sold 3. So I'm pushing a little bit more coffee than you. But Dunkin', I wouldn't say Dunkin's coffee. I actually drink Dunkin' Donuts coffee before I drink Starbucks coffee, honestly. And
agreed.
I actually only had Starbucks coffee I can count on one hand, maybe like 3 times. So
there's also seems to have a really, 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 really high caffeine level. Like when I drink, if I don't get half calf or something, I feel like I'm on crack after Starbucks. So how does that work even with caffeine? Is that in the bean from the beginning, or is that something in the processing?
That's more so in the processing, like drawing the oils out. But then it's also in like just the bean quality, because you can get some crappy beans. You can get a bad harvest. You can get it's more so like that. It's like bad harvest. The beans wasn't really all that good. The quality of beans wasn't that great. The grade of it. What else? When you roast it, how much are you trying to extract from it without burning the bean or overdoing it? So you can play like 2-3 ways to see that. But then also it's the person. Like, does caffeine affect you differently than it affects me? We might have the same cup of coffee prepared the same way, but you running around here off the wall, and I'm sitting here like I could get a second cup. So it's more so like that. It's quality of bean, harvest, the person, what they're taking from it, what they're giving back to it. So.
And does this roaster do decaf? Is that's a special process? How does decaffeinating coffee work?
Yeah, decaf it's a special process that you really don't do it in-house. Like, you get coffee. Most people get like decaf coffee from another spot. Like, my decaf coffee actually comes from New York. I don't roast decaf myself. So it's a little different in that way.
And I heard somewhere that I drink decaf. I'm compulsive, so I drink stuff. So I temper myself by drinking a lot of decaf. But somebody told me they use some chemical or something to take the decaf out. So you're not supposed to drink decaf.
You're not really supposed to drink decaf, because some places use chemical and some places just use a natural wash. Like they wash, like they extra rinse the caffeine off of it or something like that. And then some places actually does put chemical on it to decaffeinate it. So you got
I heard that.
Yeah, you got to watch who you buy your caffeine beans from.
That's why I usually get my coffee from Rutter's, because it's the only place that has on tap natural decaffeinated. Exactly, and then to find it like in a bag, I haven't been able to find it. Online, I'm sure there is a natural place to buy it, but like at Giant or anywhere, I haven't found anything. I don't think.
Yeah, that's true.
So then, what if you wanted to make like a like a hazelnut or a raspberry or whatever, kind of all those different flavors. Is that something he adds, or is that something you add when you get it from him?
Nah. You don't add it. Nobody adds. It's called a tasting note. Depending on the origin of where your bean comes from, gives you a tasting note. So like, say you buy beans from Brazil. Brazil has a more nutty taste, vanilla-y taste to it, compared to if you buy a bean from Colombia, where it might be more chocolatey and sweet. Or if you go to Ethiopia, Ethiopia is known for fruity, citrusy beans. So it depends on where you get it from. It's called tasting notes. But when you get in here, we just add like syrups or something to it to give you that raspberry thing. Like if you see somebody with like raspberry beans, like it's on the bag, more they could have added something in the roasting process, but we don't do nothing like that. I don't do nothing like that to my beans.
It's probably just some synthetic flavor or maybe natural flavor, but probably some chemical. That's why I stare. There's like blueberry and Rudders right next to the decaf. There's a blueberry kind. I never get the flavored ones with weird flavors because
that's just something. That's just some.
Because coffee doesn't come in blueberry flavor, so they had to have added something to that to make it.
To it. Yeah, that's all it is. They probably added something to it when they was roasting. So.
Yeah. So do you do at the book cafe? You have the food. You have coffee. Is there anything else people can do there? Do you actually have stacks of books for people to look at or read or anything?
Books. I actually need to get more books in. Like when we started off, I was having my back and forth disagreements with my coffee roaster in California before I found a roaster here locally. But before then, I was like stacked with books. Then I started to put a lot of my finances into getting the coffee off the ground, bags, beans, labels, things like that. And then now that that's about to be in Giants and Carnes, and it's going to be like self-sustaining in this way, that I'm about to fully focus back on the books. I'm just waiting for Giants to call and Carnes to be like, hey, it's a go. Let's move. Let's bring your bags into the store so I can be making that passive income again. And then now we're going to put all the money and attention back into filling this store up with books. So yeah, you can come here and get books. You come here and read them. You come here and enjoy yourself. We got Wi-Fi for people. I don't chase nobody out. Like it was a student here today for about 6 hours just studying, so people come here, they like to relax. I heard Starbucks chases you out after like an hour. I don't know.
Oh, really? I've never stayed long enough. Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I never heard that before. But when people start coming in, it's like, how long we gotta stay here? How long? I was like, y'all don't know to stay as long as you want. Like, if ain't nobody like beating you up for your chair,
right? As long as there's no line out there waiting to buy something or something.
Yeah. Well, even then, you sat down. If you got, my thing is first come first serve. Like, if you gotta get up early enough to beat me down here, and then if you bought something, you didn't cause no ruckus. You can stay as long as you want, Like I'm not gonna chase somebody out that's studying to be a doctor. Like it's a guy that comes here like once, twice a week. He's studying to be a what is he studying to be? I think a doctor. I think he's studying to be a doctor
or a doctorate of something.
No, but it's something in the medical field. No, something in the medical field. So I don't know if it's a doctor or a dentist or anesthesiologist. That's what it is. He's studying to be an anesthesiologist. So he be here for hours. I'm talking about he feed up 2-3 cups of coffee. Then even I need some water. Y'all got some food. Like he's here studying. I'm not going to be like, nah, you got to get out of here, buddy. Like he's spending money. Why would I chase away a well-paying customer? And then he's gonna be like, man, I only can go there for an hour. I need to study longer. Now he's gonna try to find somewhere else to go to study, and he's not gonna really want to come here because he's gonna feel like I chase him away every time he comes. So
totally.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be your raving fans who are gonna the one that's gonna post a Facebook post and tag you and tell all his friends that's the best place to go, and those are your best people out there marketing for you.
Just put some headphones on because it can get a little loud in here. It's very intimate, but it echoes. If there's a couple people in here talking, it can get a little loud in here. So, come in here and put your earphones in and study away. I had a guy that used to come when we first opened. He used to sit around there and play video games on his computer. He played, I guess he did like online gaming through his PC. And he bought coffee. He sat there for 2-3 hours playing video games. I said, hey, listen, he bought something. Rock out, buddy. Like I don't chase people away. I want everybody to feel welcome when they come here.
And there, when we went on air, there were still some people there playing chess. Are the chess boards like in the table, or do you have boards available, or how does that?
They bring their own boards down. They actually used to play at Midtown Scholar, but they was like, they heard that they can come here, and so they said they're gonna come check us out. And then ever since they've been coming, this is the third day in a row they've been down here. But I play chess myself, so I've been like on a non-busy day, like since they've been down here, I've been busy, closer to closing. So I'm like, I'm gonna get one of y'all. They older gentlemen. So I'm like, I'm gonna get one of y'all in the game, and I'm gonna show y'all what this young cat can do. You know. So.
Are you pretty good? Do you know actual moves?
Yeah. I know. Listen, I can play, man. I can play.
I can't. I don't have. I've already told you I can't read a book. I can, but I don't. Same thing applies for chess. I don't have I'll be really into it for like the first 5 minutes, first few moves, and then I've gone and out of it, but I wish I had the patience for it. I would like to teach my daughter, but
it's a good game. It's a great game, man. Great thinking game. You know, life is like chess, man. You gotta be moves ahead.
People play that by mail too, or like you could play long distance for long periods of time too.
I know. I heard of people playing 20-year-old games. Like they finally sent a letter, like after a few months, like, yo, my bad for getting back to you. This is my move, and the game be still set up. Like they like, yeah, it took me 20 years to finish this game, and stuff like that. So I love it. I think I'm gonna hold a chess tournament here one day. One free day. I think I'm gonna hold a chess tournament. I got about 7 tables. I got 5 tables here that I could do. You know what I mean? We get a couple people to sign up, have a cash prize or something like that. Try to get people involved. You know, like. Chess. It's a great game.
Yeah, it is, and it makes you think for sure.
Yeah, definitely makes you think. But it's just forward thinking. Like, but it's also thinking for somebody else. Like they say, you gotta be 3 moves ahead of somebody. You do, because you gotta be like, okay, if I take this, he takes that. What's my next move after that? Then what's his next move? What's my next move after that? So you gotta be like, okay, exchange, move here, avoid that. Even at the same time you're playing offense, you always gotta think defense. You know, because it's a game of forcing will upon somebody.
Do your kids know how to play chess?
I tried to teach them. They don't really got the patience for it, so I got to keep trying. And then, we got to.
That sounds about right.
We got to develop patience.
I actually liked it better when I was younger. I think I could play board games for hours and I slowly lost.
That's crazy because I played video games when I was younger. Then when I had my first son, I stopped playing video. Like I haven't played a video game in years. Like I don't play PS4, like when the PS5 came out, I didn't give a dang about it. Like I was like, I don't play nothing. The new Xbox One came out, I didn't care nothing about it. My sons wanted it, I was like, okay, we'll get it for y'all. But I was like, whatever, you know. So.
They are pretty awesome. Like I used to be all over the video games too. I had the first Nintendo and the Genesis all the way up. I think the last thing I had was Xbox. The Xbox 360? Was that the one like probably like 7 years? I don't know. That was the last one I had and I stopped. Every time a new PS comes out, I'm like, maybe I kind of want to. But who has hours and hours to do that?
The last time I owned a video game console was a PlayStation 2. I was in high school. As a matter of fact, the last time I really played video games, Vic was on the cover of Madden. That was 2004.
Huh.
So
there's a lot of money in video games. Maybe you should. The next business right next to this one should be a video game cafe with free Wi-Fi and video games.
That'd be nice.
That'd be hot, actually.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah.
There you go.
Cafe.
No charge for that one.
Yeah. Hey, listen. We might pull you in for that one.
I'm down. I'll consult on that one.
That's a good concept, though. Like a gamers cafe. Wow.
They exist. Definitely. I'm guessing there's no black-owned ones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Listen, I can get a bunch of anime pictures up and all types of things. So
you could draw them yourself, right?
Yeah, I could too. Yeah. I actually my pencil skills ain't that great as they once were. So nice.
I used to draw Bart Simpson. The Simpsons was huge when I was little.
And then
yeah. I had a book with all different Barts, Batman Bart, Superman Bart. It took me like months, and then some dude at school stole it. Wow. I'm not going to say the name. I know who stole it. I know you're out there, and he's on Facebook.
We didn't forget.
But I did not forget. I think about it. I literally think about it kind of often. But it was that we share that.
We got your number.
And I know who you are.
Yeah,
And I do actually. He's actually a realtor also.
Listen, we're gonna go
Now
get
I'm
that
getting too
book
specific. Now he knows I
Yes.
know.
We're gonna go get that book back tonight.
I wonder if he's sitting right now looking at it. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're getting close. So
Yeah.
we always end it with a funny question that has nothing to do with you or your business or any of that stuff. I Google funny questions, and there's 81 on the list. So you can tell me a number between 1 and 81, and I'll ask you the question.
27. It's my favorite number.
27. Why? Was that like your
That's
number
my
in
jersey
sports
number.
or something?
Yeah. That's my jersey number, yeah.
Football?
Football, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
For the Cougars, the mighty Cougars.
I never played past freshman year. I ain't played like varsity or nothing like that.
That's still the Cougars though, right?
Yeah, still the Cougars. Yeah, definitely. I'm always a Cougar through and through.
Yeah. I
wrestled in high school. I was a wrestler.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Are that's still the Cougars? Yeah, I guess the mascot applies to all the sports.
All the schools is Cougar. I'm always
Yeah. I don't know the junior high. I was in the marching band in June. We moved in like towards the end of 8th grade, but I was in the marching band and our colors were like yellow and green with the green berets. It was the most hideous marching band uniform ever. All right, 27 you said. Which musician do you think would make the best teacher? Huh. That's a weird one. I told you they were random questions.
I would say who's always kicking knowledge or something like that in their rhymes.
Oh, yeah, like Most Def or somebody.
Yeah, like Most Def. Talib.
He's older too.
Yeah, so you got to think of somebody like that. Like I got a picture of Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle probably would have been a good teacher.
True.
He's a good financial advisor type teacher. Who actually could I see teaching though as a artist?
I could see like Patti LaBelle or like Dolly Parton or some of them old time ladies teachers.
I'm talking about somebody recent. Who can I see actually teaching that? Who actually was a teacher or something like that and then dropped out to be a rock star or something?
I'm sure there are some.
It's probably, I'd probably say anybody, anybody that be kicking knowledge, like KRS-One, somebody like that. You know what I mean?
All right.
Like Common. I like Common. I think Common would be a good teacher.
Yeah, there you go. That's the perfect answer, I think.
Yeah, I think Common would be a good teacher.
Yeah, I like that.
So.
Hopefully that's the first time I got that question. Sometimes I get the same question over and over again. Somehow people ask it, but we never had that one. So I'm cool. We got a different one.
First time for everything.
I'm going to put up all your information, read it aloud so people that might be listening on it on audio only later can find you. And I put up the fifthacres.com because that's more of a website thing. I didn't put the Good Brothers website.
If you want to buy coffee from me, you can go to fifthacrescoffeeco.com. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Fifth Acres Coffee. The cafe number that he has up is actually to cafe 717-710-3690. That's 717-710-3690. But you can call.
But why would you have to call? Just show up, right? What are the hours?
Yeah, most people call. I don't know why people don't know the usage of Google, Facebook, Instagram. But they're like, "What's your hours?" The same way you got our numbers, it should be telling you.
It says it right underneath the phone number.
It usually says it like right there next to it. So, we're open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday and Sunday is 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. We're open on every major national holiday. We just may close early, but we will be open. And only day we will be closed is maybe my birthday, and that's a celebration of me. But
awesome.
Other than that, we'll probably be open on Christmas. We'll probably open on New Year's. Nah, maybe not. It depends on how my employees work, but everybody likes a cup of coffee on Christmas morning, so why not get it from here?
Yeah, New Year's morning too. If you were out partying and doing all that.
Yeah. I said after a night like some of these people be having, why not come get a cup of coffee to wake yourself back up?
Heck yeah. And then we got a special before we go out too. Plug the special. Did I get it right there? Free. Yep.
This Juneteenth, celebration of the Black liberation and the freedom of African Americans in America from slavery. We will be giving out free brewed coffee all day to any customers that would like some. And then on Father's Day, the following day, June 20th, 2021, we will be doing 25% off on all coffee drinks. All drinks, we put like that. All drinks, 25% off for all fathers. And then also we have a Burundi limited edition coffee coming out called Golden Clouds. It's a special blend from the country of Burundi and African continent. This gives you a fruity texture flavor, very good tasting notes, and I think y'all enjoy it. It's called Golden Clouds. This will be a limited edition, limited amount of bags. Get it while you can because you'll never see it again from Fifth Acres, maybe next year, maybe later this year, but it's limited edition and be on the lookout for that.
Nice. And that'll be on the website, you think, at some point? Is there an email list people can sign up for?
That will be on the website, and that will definitely be in store as well. We have a few bags in store, and we have a few bags put to the side for people that want to order on the website or order through our Instagram. We take sales that way. I'm running all of it, so you'll be talking directly to me. So.
Nice. And that won't happen forever. As you scale, you'll be stepping out a little bit. So if you want to get serviced by Stefan himself, order it now.
You'll get direct service from the CEO of the business himself.
Nice. And you can get beans or grounds or beans?
You get beans and grounds. You get both. We'll grind it up for you, but more likely you'll get whole beans because whole beans keep it fresh the longest.
Nice. So check them out. I'm going to leave the information scrolling on the bottom so everybody can see it while we go out. And then the offer will be in our email, of which you can sign up at supportcentralpa.com for that email every week. I'm trying to look at my time. 2 minutes. We got to make sure we're under 59 minutes so we can upload it to IGTV. I'm going to leave it there. If you're interested in a business spotlight package, which consists of Greg coming out to your business, showing how the sausage is made, kind of if he would come out to Good Brothers, he'd like try to make a cup of coffee or something like that. He's really busy and hasn't done a bunch of those in a while. But if you'd like to do an episode with me, like you're seeing here with me and Stefan, just hit me up. If you want to do a networking mixer at your business, which we also do as part of the proper business spotlight package, you can go to our website and apply there. COVID permitting, your business permitting, all that stuff. And I know those are booked out through like months and months. So you got to get on a list for that one. But if you want to do an episode, I'll do an episode pretty much whenever. Join our Facebook group. If you're watching this on LinkedIn or YouTube or Instagram or anywhere other than Facebook, please head over to Facebook and join our Facebook group. Central PA supports small business. Lots of good stuff happening in there. Lots of people posting in there and getting business. It's a great way also to find like the best coffee shop in Harrisburg or something, and you'll get a whole bunch of replies. Every time I need something, I pretty much say, what's the best blah, blah, blah. And then I look at the comments, and whoever gets like 3 or 4 votes, that's who I'm calling, and they always end up being great. There's even some people that say they can't post in there anymore because they get too much business, these woodworker guys. So head over there and join our group. And if you're interested in the special offers, of which we'll have one from Good Brothers, like I said, you can head over to Support Central PA. Contact me if you need to buy or sell a home. Like I said, inventory is super low. Prices are sky high. Text me, email me, throw a rock through my window, send a carrier pigeon, whatever you need to do. Get a hold of me. And the buyers, you too, wait a little bit, and you'll be able to get a house here at some point. Remember to support Central PA small businesses like Good Brothers, Fifth Acres, and House of Vegans. Am I saying that right? I didn't know about it before, and I wrote it down somewhere. House of Vegans. I got it right. Yeah. Which I didn't even know about this. I say to everybody, I wish there was more vegan restaurants around here, and I didn't even know about it. So I'm going to check that out for sure. Thanks for everybody for watching and listening. And we'll see you later. Say goodbye. Oh, there's one comment. I'm going to bring it up. We got a few seconds. Oh, he left already. That's all right. What's the comment? Amanda, several weeks ago, wish there were more spin. A wonderful coffee place. Quiet. Thanks, Amanda. All right. Later, everybody. I'm alone now. I'm going to say see ya. Thanks for the comment, Amanda. Bye.